the project that I'm going to talk about is one that came out of my first attendance at a BBS patient conference 2 years ago, and conversations, particularly in a group of adults in a workshop around how OI isn't just broken bones and there might be other things that people need help with. So the study is around therapy needs of adults living with OI. Next slide, please, Richard. So here are our project aims. So we're aiming to assess the issues that people with OI have and whether there's a role for physio and OT. And it might seem very straightforward that the answer to that is they have issues and they need physio and OT, but nobody's really researched this and quantified it before. And also to explore the impact and experiences that living with OI has on adults' physical well-being and psychological well-being. And we hope that this project will help us develop services in the future. Thank you. Next slide, please, Richard. So what we run a specialist MDT clinic, and the money that we got from the BBS was used to fund the therapist to be within that clinic. And as part of our general assessment, we have collected data on the demographics, so things like age and gender, and then also data on quality of life. So there's some questionnaires that people fill in, details on their musculoskeletal issues, scores on pain, and also what was felt to be the management plan. And somebody's just asked what MDT is, and that's the multidisciplinary team. So it's not just doctors, we have nurses and the physio and research colleagues in clinic. Next slide, please. So we aimed to identify or to get data on somewhere between 80 and 100 patients. Unfortunately, COVID sort of stopped us in our tracks, but we do have data on 50 patients, and I'm just going to share some very basics of that with you today. So in the 50 patients that were consecutive patients attending clinic, the mean age of our sample was 38, and about 2/3 of them were women, and about a third were men. About 2/3 we would classify as having mild OI, and I've just noticed that my percentages don't quite add up there, but less with severe and moderate. And we, just to show you, we collected some data on things like employment and stuff like and that sort of thing as well. So over half are working. Next slide, please. So we asked about pain, and you can see that this is showing that patients have widespread pain in lots of different areas. Obviously, spine came out as the top and knees came out as the second, with some patients, in fact, 1/3 of patients reporting 3 or more sites of pain. So there's much more data to come on this in terms of severity of pain and how much it interferes with patients' life, but we've just got this far after about a year of working on the project. So there'll be more data to follow on this, but pain a significant issue for a significant number of patients, although a few didn't report any pain. Next slide, please. And what were their needs? So this again is just a basic pie chart. So the blue section, so some patients just needed some advice in clinic. The RNOH outpatient physio and OT, PTOT, that's patients who we arranged outpatient treatment at our facility in London. You can see that a fair proportion didn't really need anything. So the 14 there, so that's 28%, didn't need any input. But we also had patients who we were liaising with local, referring to local services, and interacting with other services. You'll see there was one patient there that had a residential program. That's something that we started to offer and currently is on hold due to COVID. Next slide, please. So that really covers the first section of what the needs are, and there's a lot more granularity and data to follow once we've finished analysing it all. And the second bit was about exploring the impact of those needs. And we're running some focus groups. They're due to start soon. I think we're doing them in October and November. So yeah, those are going to be held online. So next slide, please. So just to finish, thanks to the BBS obviously for funding and allowing me to update you on this today, and to all the team at Stanmore. In particular, at the top right is Sophie Barlow, and she's the therapist who's been in our clinic and collecting this data, and we're just starting to write it up, so hopefully this will be published soon. Thank you very much.